good example for you of not getting the right advice is a client that we completed a building for about 6 months ago. He had a big block of land, existing house on the front. It was a corner block, so a beautiful block. He wanted to develop it a bit for a bit of investment return. So he was thinking granny flat. Because the house at the front was set back so far because it was fronting a main road, he figured he didn't have a lot of room in the back, so he'll just get away with the granny flat. So he went and got some consultation from granny flat builders. He asked the question, do you think I can get anything else on here? And obviously their answer was no, granny flat's all you're going to get. They're not going to tell you that you can build another house on there because they only build granny flats. Now, it just so happens that we've done work for this, commercial work for this guy. So he kind of gave me a call out of the blue and said, look, this is what I've got. What's your thoughts? So I spent a bit of time on it. I looked at it. Yes, it was tight. But because it was a corner block, the potential then opened right up. So he went from being restricted to a 2-bedroom granny flat, which is only a couple of $100 a week rental return. No real major, return on the entire development. To we're able to then design a 2-story, 4-bedroom home with a study, single garage, ensuite, walk-in robe, beautiful big home, which basically doubled the value of his land. So he renovated the one at the front, made that all nice and pretty. Then we built a nice 2-story home on the back, $400,000 odd development cost. When it was complete, he got valuations of $800,000 and over, just for that new one that we built.
Not including the one at the front.
Not including the one at the front.
And did he strata title that?
Yep. So he strata titled them. He's renting them both out. So the new one that we built is getting $680 a week compared to $350 a week for a granny flat. And obviously the fact that now he's got 2 houses on there, the house at the back alone doubled.
So it's worth $800,000 on its own.
Worth $800,000 if he was to sell it tomorrow, and it cost him $400,000 to do the development. So he's doubled his money just on that one.
Yep.
He's obviously had the existing land for some time, and he's renovated the house on the front. So, adding
he might have just put a granny flat on and got a couple $100 a week rent, and
maybe added $200,000, maybe added $200,000 to the overall value because it's got a granny flat. But ultimately, it would have just been a single house with a granny flat.
Yep.
Now, because we're thinking outside the box, and because we knew what we were looking at as far as what we can and can't fit, he's just made a fortune out of that site. So we're now doing another one for him, and he's already bought another one.
So if he'd just put so he's renovated this house at the front.
Yep.
And put a granny flat on the back, what could he have sold for?
Well, look, he might have made an extra $200,000, maybe $250,000.
Okay, and now he's got the 2. If he wanted to sell both of them, what's that worth? Both those properties with houses on them.
Well, look, say the one at the back is already going to make $400,000.
Yep.
The one on the front, he'll make an extra $150,000 odd, $200,000 anyway because it's nice and renovated, beautiful new home.
Yep.
So he's gone from a $250,000 return to $700,000 return for a $400,000 investment.
So really, if people are thinking about putting a granny flat on their properties, it's worthwhile having a conversation with you because they could turn $200,000 into $600,000 just by having a conversation with you.
Just by having a free conversation with us, we have a look at the block, make sure that it's doable. And of course, though, the people have got to be prepared to make that initial investment.
Yep.
You can't compare it to saying I'm going to spend $150,000 on a granny flat because these days, granny flats still aren't as cheap as what they used to be. Granny flat costs have gone up. So you're still going to spend $150,000 on a 2-bedroom granny flat by the time you do all your connection fees and all your bits and pieces and site costs.
Mm-hmm.
So you're still going to spend $150,000 on something that's ultimately never going to go up in value. So you're not going to make that money back. And if you look at $350 a week rent, how long it's going to take you to get that return on investment on that anyway, on that $150,000?
Yep.
You're not going to. So
So then the other thing is, now that he's done that with you and he's got your support and your knowledge and guidance in the background, he's now free to go out and look for other similar blocks that he can buy and just keep repeating the process and really setting himself up for a wealthy retirement.
Yeah, so he sends me a text message or once in a while or an email and say, look, I'm looking at this site. What's your thoughts? I'll spend 10, 20 minutes. I'll look up the council regulations and make sure yes or no. I'll give him a bit of a snapshot of what we can and can't do. And that gives him a good indication of whether he should buy it or not. So we're saving.
You build a builder, you're sort of like someone that people come back, and go, hey, what do you think about this? Yeah. And you're able to do a bit of due diligence for them before they even lay out any money on something. So, straight up, no, don't touch that block. Keep looking for another one. Yeah,
we've got another client now, which we're in the process of building an attached side-by-side dual occupancy for. That's scheduled to be finished in February. He's now contacted me last week about a development site that he's been looking at for 4 townhouses. Same thing, sent me along the contract. This is what I'm thinking of doing. What do you think? This one was DA approved, which was a big advantage.
Yep.
But I was able to give him an idea of what the development costs would be. Then we could add that to obviously the purchase price. Then we could do a quick feasibility and say, look, ultimately going to make X amount of dollars on this development, so it's worth your while or not worth your while. And we do all that for free because he's already a client.
Yep.
I did the same thing for him when I first met him with the site that he bought. So we did the initial consult and quick feasibility for him for nothing anyway.
So it's really important for you to look after your clients, because for you, especially with your investor build, you look after them knowing that you're going to have a really supportive relationship backwards and forwards for, however long their investing career is, and then their families and friends. And
yeah, when that's our process, even for our one-off builds. Yeah. We still, even if you come into us and you want to just build a house on a block of land, we still follow the same process. We still do the same things. We still communicate the same. We treat you as if you're part of the team as Essen. You're not just a builder versus client. You now are part of us, and we work with you through the process. We look at how we can save you money.
Make you money.
Yeah, making money. For the investor side of it, sometimes by doing this with them, it makes them obviously more keen to do more, but it gives them that confidence knowing that, hey, we've made good money on this one. We've got that support at the back end if we want to take another chance at it or have another go at it. Some people just then get a taste for it and go, look, now we know it works, we're going to do it again.
Yep.